It's a flightless bird, and the way it runs, on the ground looks very funny. Commonly called as the nightingale. And once that egg hatches, the young Koel hatchling comes out, you know what it does. It will just kick out all the other eggs from the nest. And the way it does that, you should see. It will do like that, and it will just throw all the eggs out. Unbelievable. Hello students, we have completed with the general characteristics of class Aves. Now we are going to look at some important examples of Aves. So birds are divided into two major categories, the flight birds and the flightless birds. The flight birds can fly and the flightless birds cannot fly because they have very redundant type of wings which do not allow them to fly. Examples include ostrich, emu, kiwi, penguin, etc. We are going to look at the examples of flightless birds first, and then we will move on to the examples of the flight birds. Flightless birds cannot fly due to reduced wings. To compensate for the lack of wings, they have very strong hind limbs, which can be modified for running very fast, or for swimming. Fast running habit is also called as cursorial habit. So many of these flightless birds are of cursorial habit, like the ostrich, emu, kiwi, etc. Since the flightless birds cannot fly, they do not have the body weight constraint. As such, their bodies are generally large in size, except for kiwi. Body is large sized except kiwi. The flightless birds are of two types, running flightless birds and swimming flightless birds. Example of swimming flightless bird will include penguin, and running flightless birds examples will include ostrich, emu, kiwi, Rhea. The running flightless birds are also called as ratites. So sternum. The flight birds have a keeled sternum for attachment of the flight muscles, isn't it? Which enable them to have a powerful flight. But in case of the flightless birds, since they do not have a need for the powerful flight muscles to be attached to a keel, their sternum is more flat, like a raft. Ratite means like a raft shape, okay, and their sternum is like a raft without the keel on the sternum. That's why they are called as ratites. Their sternum is said to be without the keel. Sternum without keel. It is raft shape. Raft shape means a ratite. On the contrary, the swimming flightless birds, their forelimbs may not be modified to wings, but their forelimbs are modified to something called flippers, okay, which enable them swimming. And these flipper muscles need to be attached somewhere, so that's why they have retained the keel on the sternum. So for swimming flightless birds, their sternum will be with keel. Keel, sternum present. That's the major point of difference between flightless running birds and flightless swimming birds. Keel absent and keel present. Okay, there are other differences as well. For instance, cursorial habit, okay, and these have swimming habit. Other differences include urinary bladder, which is absent in most of the birds. In case of the ratites, the urinary bladder is present. Urinary bladder is absent in case of swimming flightless birds. The males, in case of the ratites, have copulatory organ which is called as the penis. Penis is generally absent in case of the birds. So these were the general features of the flightless birds. Now we will look at each of this example in some more detail. Let's take up ostrich. Ostrich struthio. It belongs to Arabian and African deserts. It's quite tall, about 7 to 8 feet tall. It has a fast running speed of up to 70 kilometers per hour. An average human runs about 8 to 10 kilometers per hour. This one is a fast runner, as you can see. They are polygamous, means one male will mate with multiple females. The males, they take turns to incubate the eggs along with the female parent. They take turns to incubate eggs only during night time, because the males are black in color, their feathers are black in color, so when they sit to incubate the eggs during night time, it will give a camouflage to the eggs. And the female, which is brownish grayish in color, she will incubate the eggs during daytime. Males incubate eggs during night time, and they will have urinary bladders and copulatory organs. Did you know that ostrich is the largest living bird? Largest living bird, and lays the largest sized eggs. Largest eggs in the animal kingdom is of the ostrich. You know that an egg is equal to one cell, right? So the largest cell will be an ostrich egg. Largest cell in animal kingdom. Second, look at Rhea. Rhea is very similar to ostrich, but it is smaller in size and it belongs to South America. It is similar to ostrich, but smaller in size. Two very different places on earth, but these flightless birds are looking very much similar to each other. Why? Because of similar niches. Okay, they are living in similar ecological niches or desert-like environments. Both had rudimentary wings and both started having this fast-running habit. Eventually, over evolution, they both started looking similar to each other and their characteristics are very much alike. This is an example of convergent evolution. Rest of the characteristics will be similar to the Ratites. Another one is emu. Have you seen an emu in real life? Very less majestic than an ostrich. Here we had seen one in Saguna Bagh. I will post a video link in the description. You can check it out to see the emu that I had seen with my family. So that is emu. This one belongs to Australia and it's also a ratite. It has strong hind limbs, etc. Fourth one is kiwi. Kiwi belongs to New Zealand. Have you eaten a kiwi? The kiwi fruit I'm talking about. It's brown colored and it has brown hairs like on its body, isn't it? You know why the kiwi fruit has been named kiwi? Because of this particular animal that also has an appearance like a kiwi fruit. Its body is brown in color and its feathers are like hair-like, which provides it camouflage on the grassy ground. It is the smallest ratite. Feathers are hair-like and its beak is very long with the nostrils at the tip of the beak. Beak is long, nostrils at the tip of beak, which is a very unique feature. It uses its beak to look up for worms under the soil and all. That's why its nostrils are at the tip of the beak, so that it just blows out the air and clear out the dirt and all. And it's a flightless bird and the way it runs, on the ground looks very funny. It's highly endangered now. Population is dwindling quite a lot. Apparently kiwi lays the largest eggs compared to its body size. The largest egg is laid by ostrich, but this one, it lays the largest egg compared to body size. Lays largest egg compared to body size. It's similar to me giving a birth to a 6-year-old child. Okay, how big it will be. Okay, that is the comparison. Kiwi's scientific name is Apteryx. Now we do penguin. Aptenodytes is the scientific name of penguin. This one belongs to Antarctica. So its 4 limbs are modified to flippers. 4 limbs modified to flippers for swimming. Flippers, which is a modification for swimming, is also present in some mammals like whales and dolphins. Another example of convergent evolution. They have webbed hind limbs, thick blubber under skin to protect against the cold, etc. It has a streamlined body. It is a swimming adaptation, having a streamlined body, and it shows this so-called counter shading coloration adaptation. What is counter shading coloration adaptation? So this means a darker dorsal surface and whiter ventral surface. So penguins have a darker dorsal surface, because of which it gets camouflage when the predator sees it from top, okay, and a lighter ventral surface it has, so that it is camouflage from a predator which sees it from below. Counter shading coloration adaptation it is called, which is shown by penguins. So these were the adaptations of the flightless birds. Now we move on to the characteristics of the flight birds. Let us start with the pigeon. Columba, blue rock pigeon. This is the common pigeon that you see all around you. It has been historically used as a messenger bird because it has excellent navigation ability and homing instinct. Navigation ability means ability to navigate in different places, and homing instinct means coming back home. No matter how far it is away from home, it always finds its way back home. That's called homing instinct. Next, both sexes, both male and the female, produce something called as crop milk. You know that the birds have a crop in their digestive system. The crop, a food storage organ. In the pigeons, the crop epithelium produces a secretion which is called as the crop milk, a whitish colored fluid. Both the male and the female uses this crop milk to feed its young ones. It is not equal to true milk, but it is triggered by the same hormone that triggers the milk production in case of the mammals. The same hormone called prolactin hormone triggers the crop milk production. Produce crop milk, which is a secretion of crop epithelium. It is not true milk used for nourishment of hatchlings, controlled by prolactin hormone. Next, we take up Eudynamis, commonly called as Koel or the cuckoo bird. Do you know what sound it produces? Coo, coo. commonly called as the nightingale. It is the male that produces those sounds. Those are mating calls. The male is black in color and the female is grayish brown, and she is spotted, and she does not have such a sweet voice. In fact, she has a very harsh voice. The Koel bird is known for its famous brood parasitism. What is the meaning of brood parasitism? So what the female Koel bird does, it does not take the hassle of producing nests and laying eggs and then taking care of the young ones, feeding them and all that. It does not take all that hassle. What does the female Koel bird do, It lays eggs into crow's nests. She will figure out where are the crow's nests first of all, okay, 3-4 areas she will mark, and then she will go to the crow's nest. She will throw out one of the crow's already laid egg. She will kick and throw it out. Then she will lay her own egg into the crow's nest swiftly as she has come, and swiftly she will leave, and as such at 3-4 places she will lay her eggs. So with that she has finished the egg laying process. She did not have to build her own nest. When the crow comes back, he sees the eggs. The eggs of the Koel bird are so much similar in size, shape and appearance to the crow's eggs that the crow is unable to figure out that someone has come and laid its eggs in its nest and thrown out one of its eggs. Not only that, the Koel bird's eggs will hatch usually first, okay? It develops very quickly. And once that egg hatches, the young Koel hatchling comes out, what it does. It will just kick out all the other eggs from the nest. And the way it does that, you should see. It will do like that, and it will just throw all the eggs out. Unbelievable. Even if the crow's eggs are hatched, okay, and there are hatchlings, it will throw away its siblings out of the nest, okay? Why does it do that? To kill the competition, so that it gets a major share of the food that is provided by its crow parents. That is what it does. This is known as brood parasitism. And the young cuckoo bird will not identify the crow parent as its own parents, okay? Once it outgrows and leaves the nest, it will identify its own species and mate with its own species. It will not mate with crows thinking that it belongs to that species. So that is called as host imprinting. Host imprinting is absent in case of the cuckoo bird. So this is a famous example you must know, shows brood parasitism. This example is there for you in 12th standard also, better remember it. Lays eggs in crow's nest. Crow incubates Koel's eggs. Unknowingly, the crow feeds Koel's young. Size, shape, color of Koel's eggs is similar to crow's eggs. That has happened with evolution. The size, shape, color of the Koel's eggs has become very similar to the crow's eggs to facilitate this parasitism process for the Koel. The young cuckoo chicks eject host's chicks / eggs out of nest. Host imprinting absent in cuckoo chicks. Host imprinting means considering host parents as its own. It's absent in cuckoo chicks. Male Koel has this sweet voice and is black in color, and the female Koel is a harsh voice. She has spots on her body, spotted. So that was about Eutynamus Koel or cuckoo. We continue with the remaining examples of birds in the next lecture. In the name of Lord Mahadev, please subscribe.